Is it double audio? All right, what's going on, boys? Just trying to check the chat, see who is joining in right now. Thank you guys. I'm just gonna kind of make it a brief. Wow. I gotta get a new soundboard button or something. Sorry about that. But what's up, boys? How's it going? Just gonna make a really brief stream today because it's gonna be nothing crazy. I'm just gonna go over the new BBs that I just got from Hostile Airsoft, otherwise known as HK Army. We are also going to go over the NSL that just happened over the weekend. I know I haven't streamed in a minute, and I apologize for that. And I've just been kind of trying to edit as much as I can to try and get my portfolio up to date and try to animate a little bit more. But I'm glad you guys are here for the four that are watching. I'm trying to keep up. Is it double audio? Jesus. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure everything's going well here. I haven't streamed in a minute, I apologize. Wow. Guess we really don't need the audio for that. Either way, good morning. How you guys doing? I'm glad you're here. Let's get it going. Just looking at equipment here. Okay, so going back to the Tracer BBs. Now, before I get into that, I'm glad you guys are here. Welcome back. It has been maybe a few weeks, maybe at least a month since I've streamed, or at least done a regular stream. Like I said, I've been pretty busy. I've been just trying to keep up with everyone. Now audio is fixed. Okay, I appreciate you guys. It's gonna be pretty quick. I'm gonna get into the nitty gritty of this, and I apologize for the late start. But again, I did get some BBs from Hostile Airsoft. I'm gonna do a brief NSL recap. I did play one of the events at least a few weeks prior to the main event for the US, and I'll give you my thoughts on it, especially with the teams that have competed just recently over this past week. Nothing new has changed for me. I'm really trying to downsize. If you haven't seen my community post, I'm selling my KWA Speaky B Edition E4. I really don't see myself using it. It works really well and shoots straight beams. So if you guys are interested, please DM me on Instagram. I am not going to take any inquiries in the comments. Just if you are really serious about it, just message me on Instagram and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Damn, these BBs are expensive, says Kai. Well, I mean, what do you think in terms of expensive? Have you seen, have you watched or seen Ace Tech BBs? Tracers, those are fairly good quality. BLS tracers are just about maybe like $30 to $35 for a pack of 4,000 for .25s. In general, that's a pretty good deal, but it's also based on the quality of what you're receiving from the manufacturer. Now, I don't know what HK Army or what place HK Army, or whatever rotation they are in grabbing these BBs. I don't know how much quality these really are. I haven't tested them, so I'm hoping to do that over the weekend. and I probably won't be able to hit the field up. But I do have 2 bottles with me here. Thanks to Quitsky. Appreciate you, bro. Again, thank you so much. And Hostile Airsoft for sending me at least 2 bottles. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. But 2 bottles of the 0.25 gram BBs are the most common BB weight and green tracer that I use on the field or indoors. So far, Hostile has been pretty good. I was going to make a brief review, just kind of animate it like I did with the Storm Tracer. It's probably just going to be a quick 3 to 4 minute video. But this upcoming video that I have for Monday is just going to be my NSL loadout. I'm just going to go over that. But I'm happy to see that HK Army is actually getting more involved into the airsoft side of things because they see where the market is at. They know what we want, and it seems like they're actually listening to the consumer base, which are the players in the community. And I'm happy to see that they are actually starting off with us before they release this to the rest of the world. I'm not sure if they have released these BBs to any other countries. I'm pretty sure they're going to ship these out to whatever. But wow, these are pretty cool. I am going to test these based on durability and brightness. I think those are the most important qualities when it comes to tracers. I mean, don't you think? Let me see. Surprise stream, what the hell? Says CQ Speed. How you doing, bro? I got my iPad here, so I appreciate you. Mad Bull is about €25 for 2,500. And I pay for BLS BBs, which is €14 for 4,000 BBs. Floor BBs are the Floor BBs are the cheapest. And I want to put you in timeout for that. But you're not wrong. Then you have the Around the World hop up. I mean, here in America, you know, everyone's getting BBs and other stuff from Taiwan, and I think it's just the overseas shipping, and then of course, you know, the port protests and all that stuff, which have actually ended after a few days. But if you know, we have the pandemic, and we have greedy companies to blame for the rise in prices, especially here in America, because gas over here in California is about $5.50 where I'm at. Fucking ridiculous. Silicon Valley for you, right? But I appreciate you guys for watching. Honestly, the BB prices were actually a little bit different that I had received, the information that I had received from Quitsky, but it looks like they had adjusted the prices just a bit to make it a bit more affordable. $20 is not bad considering you're getting 0.25. That's the common weight BB for any tracer at 3,600 count. Normally you can get that through BLS or Ace Tech, as I mentioned before, for about 4,000. Around $30 to $35. Here is a normal bag of Ace Tech BBs. These are the most common ones that I use if I'm not using the Airsoft Extreme ones. And these go for about $36 on Amazon for a pack of 4,000, which normally they don't really sell these in stores. They sell the bottles, which kind of look like this. Of course, you see my old school Ace Tech bottle that I just pretty much put BBs in, put into the loader, and then I can just kind of get my BBs going. But this is the common ones that I use for the fact that they don't have a lot of extra residue that is left inside your inner barrel, much like the Airsoft Extreme BBs that are probably second or third in rotation to, you know, grab after you know, whatever is left over from some of these batches from Ace Tech or BLS, if that makes sense. Of course, you know, the top companies pay for the most polished and more higher quality BBs. Whatever's left over is just kind of spread out to all of these other brands. Probably like what HK Army is doing. They probably got the second, third, fourth rotation of these BBs, which is why the price is like that. But I mean, who knows? Honestly, Airsoft Extreme, they sell their BBs for about this same amount. I think it's 3,000. For about $26, which is a little bit up there. But HK Army is known for affordability. They probably adjusted the price just so that way they can outbeat their competitor. I mean, shit, that's pretty good. They know a lot of people. They know a lot of people already buy their gear, their products. I mean, might as well start, you know, somewhere small and at least make it more affordable. And that's what I enjoy about HK Army, even though they have somewhat of a different reputation on the paintball side. In the community there when it comes to branding, because the main thing that a lot of people come out with is that they copy a lot of ideas without crediting a lot of the smaller brands or whatever. But the Airsoft side of things looks like they're doing well. Going back to the chat, G&G Tracer BBs are also expensive, and I miss you. CQB City soon. I miss you too, bro. CQB City, maybe in November. For sure, I'm going to go in November. Right now, there hasn't really been too many people going, so it's not really worth my time. But as of now, the rest of these few weeks, I'm actually going to a bunch of places right now for my birthday. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Before I go, what you think of the Laylax electronic speed loader? Is that the small one that's about $60? I haven't really seen too much of it, and I think when they field tested it right before its release, it wasn't able to fill an EPM1 fairly well, or when it did, it was very slow. So you could probably fill 2 or 3 mags worth of EPM1s right before you complete an entire mag with the Laylax. So I'm probably going to skip on that for now. If I'm just going to go ahead and use my Odin speed loader, I would prefer that, because if I'm competing, or if I'm just trying to go out back onto the rec field, come back from staging, refill as fast as I can, go back to the rec field, so I don't have to waste any time, I'd rather just do that. Get a Vanguard speed loader, best investment of my life. Is that the $1,000 one? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm not spending $400 on a speed loader for rec play. Yeah, dude, I'm not trying to do that either. But I mean, I digress. These BBs are pretty good so far with price. I can't say they're pretty good overall because I haven't tested them yet. But Ace Tech is normally the ones I go for because they are in reach all the time on Amazon, and if they're not, then I will go to my local store, which is Airsoft Extreme, the biggest West Coast chain in California, next to Evike. But they do okay. Their management seems to be kind of off. I don't know. Anyway, either way, Ace Tech BBs do leave a lot of residue in my inner barrels, and kind of depending on the build, if it's the HPA build, I'm always finding myself cleaning out my inner barrel setup at least after 1 to 2 sessions worth of Airsoft. And usually that means 1 session's worth is just like 1 full day of rec play and then speed night. And then if I do it again the next weekend, then I really got to start cleaning my BBs at least halfway through the day, because I noticed that the grouping is just all over the place because of the goddamn gunk. Gunk is too much. I'm done with NSL. I mean, I'm going to play it because that's the only thing we got. Other than that, just go back to paintball, but paintball's too expensive. I still got my my Lux, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm done with NSL. But before I get to NSL, I mean, are these BBs something that you guys would be interested in? What I think is pretty cool about these BBs is the fact that it kind of emulates the standard Ace Tech bottle for their tracers or BBs or whatever, because they don't only just sell the green BBs, they sell the red BBs, and of course they sell the normal BBs that you can get, I think up to 0.4. So if you're playing outdoor at a Milsim event, that would be the best for you. But the packaging itself on these hostile BBs is actually pretty cool compared to the Ace Tech. Ace Tech's got some interesting packaging, but it's not as interesting as hostile. And of course, they most likely cater to the brain rot attention span kids in the Speedsoft community here in the United States. So of course, this brand is gonna, of course, attract those kids and those parents that are going to go out there and buy these BBs. I like what they did here. They have like a meter for the BB count. So it's 500,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, and so on and so forth right after that. So can only assume that's about the other 600 up there. Hostile on the side. Polished and seamless 0.25 gram tracer BBs for great competition, and of course it's got the cancer warning on the side. Well, not the cancer warning, the eye protection warning. In California they always have the warnings. Oh yeah, see, California Prop 65, this product can expose you to chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer, and no other state really does that, but it's actually alarming when you see this warning on a lot of products, especially when you go into a Goodwill and stuff. Or any other store for that matter. But let me see, let's go. Use a manual speed loader, get those reps in, and get that carpal tunneling. What's up, man? Love the content. Good to see you still got NorCal Airsoft content on lock. What's up? What's up, Belty? I know I haven't talked to you in a minute, bro. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you're still out there on the field just killing it. I wish I could say the same for us right now. I mean, I'm just playing whenever I can. The player base has kind of decreased just a bit. Speedsoft has just been very NSL focused in the NorCal scene. Very competitive for that, which is cool. I like it. But I want some variety, and I can't thank Adam enough for actually taking that into consideration. So Adam, if you're watching this or listening to this, props to you, man. Good fucking job. And to the rest of your boys and the rest of the community for supporting Adam just to get the field where it needs to be. And then, yeah, I mean, other than that, I try to go back to CQB City, but again, the player base has been decreasing. People say it's school, but it's never been like this. I would go to the field and there's like at least 10 to 15 people, and it would decrease throughout the day. So by the end of the day, after like 3 hours, you get maybe like several people left over, which is interesting. So I'm like not really motivated to go out there right now, but try to go out there maybe once a month. I did go to GamePod last weekend. And just kind of got some reps in with the MCW, as you can see right here. Kind of rearrange this whole setup over here. I don't know. I really want to test these out in the field, but I probably won't be able to do anything with these BBs on an actual field until maybe like 2 weeks from now or a week from now. Again, I'm just going to be pretty busy, but I am going to test these at home. At least go through like at least 2 mags worth of BBs and just see how long they can maintain their brightness, because that's one of the important things, especially if you're in a bigger indoor field. You want to make sure you can see those BBs create or come in contact with your target, because I've used some BBs like Lancer that weren't bright enough, and I had some really defunct BLS BBs that I bought from Amazon from some airsoft store, I think in Ohio, by the name of Clover. Don't buy from them because they don't take care of their quality. They don't take care of their products. When I received the BLS BBs from them, it does not. It was just all faded. The BBs weren't good enough. They just kind of gave me like really wild ass groupings, and the brightness wasn't brightening enough, you know. But you know, just kind of make sure, we're just going to make sure that these BBs are actually worth it, because it's $20. I mean, whether that's affordability or if they're based off the quality of the actual BBs from the manufacturer that they got. They said they got it from Taiwan, or it's made in Taiwan, meaning it's probably based on the same manufacturers that all these other airsoft BBs are, all these other brands are getting their BBs from. But let me see, going back to the chat. I got nothing else going on. I did ask Fives, who is now the one who's in charge of the NSL, if I can film for at least one day. And he did. When I was competing for the NSL, it was like a month ago. I was competing with Deadline Mob, and thank you to the boys out there, Manny and everyone else, for letting me compete with you guys, because it was a good time. I didn't have any concerns. You know, everyone was just on a vibe. They're just playing, and I got to be able to film. Fives let me film. I still have to edit that footage and submit it to him, so that way he could go ahead and approve it, and I'll upload it at some point. But I didn't go to the most recent event at the NSL. So, and if you guys are wondering, I'm only running my ARC build, as well as my Nepro speed belt. And I did get a new push mask, which I'm actually happy about. For the longest time, I've been running my dye mask, and it's been cool, but I just don't like the strap at the back. It's just very big and bulky, and it just doesn't really make any sense when it comes to competing. Yeah, I get the gimmick is that it's going to tighten it, but you could just do that with a regular headband strap. I've had no issues with my JT Pro Flex, and I didn't realize that the push mask was basically the same thing when it comes to using the same style of straps. I could just readjust it whenever easily. Nothing bulky, nothing gets in the way, and I like it. I like it. So I'm gonna do a NSL loadout video coming Monday, kind of using some of the footage from the previous NSL that I attended. But let's talk about the US Championship that happened not too long ago, because wow. Okay, so I made predictions on this entire event. There were 6 teams in total that attended. Unfortunately, it seems like the prices for this event were so crazy expensive, but I mean, it makes sense if you have a full team of 12, which is the extent of how big you can make one team. And I think the cost was somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200 for just the event, a 2-day event that you got to compete in. And I think the price kind of turned away some people, but it's similar to competitive paintball where the prices are going to be up there, at least within the thousands. Again, this is just going to be something that I'll probably have to get used to, because I am going to be playing in the NSL sometime next year with Team Asylum. I'm just going to kind of just do our thing. I got to get in shape. I got to lose weight. I'm about 200 pounds. I need to at least lose 35 to 40 pounds and then tone up, build muscle, and that way I can get the ball rolling again and be at my peak that I was about a year ago. CG Speed says, chat, we're dying here. Who's got the tea? Who's got the tea? Nobody's got the tea. Look, chat, we're dying here. So we got 6 teams that competed not too long ago. At least 3.5 came from the West Coast, 4.5 came from the West Coast, and then the other half came from the East Coast. And I don't say half because Murder Inc. is pretty much guys that are comprised of people from the East and the West Coast. Now, it was interesting because my predictions for the top 3, and only 2 came true. My top predictions were East Coast Energy, Tacos, and the newest Killers. These kids have been killing it on the field for a minute. They're fast, they're small, and they're young. Of course, they outbeat everyone. They have a little bit of strategy, and if they were to polish that a little bit more, they could be some fucking killers for sure. That's the biggest thing that a lot of teams lack when it comes to being competitive in the Speedsoft scene, because of the low player base. We don't have a lot of people to play against. Not a lot of people get in, those reps in, the training in, even though they say they do, but it's literally just playing the same people, and you're never really experiencing any growth. I always tell people, if you really want to get more experience, play competitive paintball, or just play just a regular Saturday, speedball, just recreation day, just something, so you can get that experience. You're playing against people who've been playing for a long time, who are actually fit. And then the other thing too, there's not too many athletic people in the Speedsoft community. So of course we see people like East Coast Energy and Savage that are very thin, very athletic, young. Tacos got some guys too. But Tacos, what they have is strategy and familiarity with their bunkers and everything. So those are my top picks. But the upset was, like I said, I only got 2 right. Two of those were right. And it was Tacos and ECE that took it for first and second place. Third place being DVS. And one of my reasons for me not saying DVS was going to take it, I didn't realize Chris was going to compete with DVS. And Raven was there too. And there was one other guy, I forgot his name, I apologize, from Europe that actually joined. So I had no idea there was going to be some killers on the team. DVS, although they are pretty good in their own right, it seems like they never seem to grow unless they have a different strategy. And that's what I've noticed. I'm not trying to say anything negative about the team. I just noticed that they'll most likely will always place third or fourth. Unless we get some killers and get some strategy, and it looks like they did. They placed third. Congratulations to them. And of course, the other teams that are out there, East Coast Energy and Tacos, for playing it up there. They did really well overall. East Coast Energy, of course, is always bringing the heat. Now, we're going to go here. This is literally all the teams that competed. And it looks like, scoring-wise, DVS was first. They won 4 of the games, lost 1. Savage, same, 4 and 1. Tacos won 3 of the games and lost 2. East Coast Energy, same, 3 and 2. Killshot Mafia and Murder Inc. were some of the weirdest, well, I wouldn't say weirdest, but it was a different outcome that I expected. I'm so sorry. How do you pronounce that? I'm going to say Mo. His name is Mo from Hakai. He's a pro division player in Europe. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, he's a really good player. He really brings it out on the field when things are tough. Now,
that's why you're all so many bitches in this lobby with no dad, said.
I forgot the soundboard was on, but let me go ahead. There we go. All right, because I need to type some shit, and I can't really do that with the soundboard in the background. I'm just gonna play this in the background for you guys so you guys can see these goddamn commercials. They always do this. Ronnie D's on. I haven't really watched this content in a while, but looking at you guys here. So again, we have the top three, which were DVS, Tacos, and EC. Congratulations to you guys, because damn, you could tell that the work and all that effort you guys had put in really does show. Savage out there with the biggest improvement over this last year. And again, the different outcome that I didn't expect was from Murder Inc. and KSM. KSM looked like, to me, they fumbled the bag out of how many times they competed over this past year. They've been one of the teams that at least place top three when it comes to any event. But it looks like everyone was definitely bringing their A game. You know, it feels like a lot of players, whether or not they are playing throughout the year, decide whether they should put in a ton of effort on one event and save it all for where it really matters. I mean, I guess that makes sense. If your team is really good at seeding and placing, then you get enough points. You don't have to worry about making the top. Some of those other teams are going to have to worry about making those points. It's kind of like the strategy there. Yeah, DVS really showed up again, man. But the outcome of, KSM, like, I expected them to really put on their A game. I don't know if they lost players. I don't know what the history behind that is. I don't know. Whatever it was got the best of them over that event, and you can see it. I think that's one of their biggest weaknesses as a team is anything that gets into their head, it affects them throughout the entire day. But I've seen them come back the next event or the next day even stronger. But I think it's just kind of hard to maintain that momentum. And I could say that for, any other team that's out there. So also congratulations to them. They were second to last. Murder Inc. came in. They got some of the guys from the East Coast to help them out. And I don't think they really competed too much in the NSL unless it was on the East Coast that I've seen. But they got some of the guys that they play with from the West Coast. I'm not sure if Bacon or Beeve were there, but a lot of the other guys from the East Coast were there. And it was a complete upset as they were completely last. They didn't win any of their games. They almost did against DVS at one point. But overall, it didn't seem like they were able to pull through both days. And that's just that kind of thing that you see as a team that you got to work on, that it is a different format. It's a different league. These guys, at least this team, is used to playing SpeedQB or CSL. I can see here that we got, I forgot his name. Is that Mo or is that Chris? No, I think that's Mo. Running to bring the flag to the end zone. That way they can retrieve those points as best they can. It's completely different than your regular CSL or SpeedQB format because it's your basic 5v5 elimination style paintball, speedball format, even though they don't admit it. I know CSL will, but NSL is a little bit more complicated because it's got end zones and points and strategies that you got to implement. This is the 1v1 here to try and kind of like a field goal. You got to maintain that those points. I'm still trying to understand it myself, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, but Murder Inc. has been pretty good on their own right on the East Coast. I think just them playing against different players, they've finally met or saw a different level of competitiveness that the West Coast brings, and it's cool that they finally get to see that because no one really travels to NorCal. No one really comes up here. It's usually everyone else that goes to SoCal or the East Coast. And finally, some of the teams finally come to the NorCal scene and see what we're all about. When it comes to home field advantage, I believe that a whole 100%. And whether that's ref bias or just familiarity with the layout in the field, it's insane. It's insane. But damn. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the NSL. I think they're going to try to change things up a little bit here over time as they go along throughout the next season. I think they got one more or two more events coming up. I think the Autumn Cup is coming in November, but I'm going to be out there competing a bit throughout the year, just to kind of get in that work. Again, I got to work out, get better, and kind of see where everything's at. Sac County and Airsoft and training, of course. Yeah, these are the team standings for Sunday. And you can kind of see some teams take advantage over others during their round set. Taco's got 26 over East Coast Energy, which is 15. It's just familiarity with the game and understanding and getting around certain things that the other team may or may not know. And that's all it is. Just read the rules and strategize, whether you needed to defend or just rush or just, take time. Take the time you need when it comes to moving up into the zones and scoring. Now, the pro division, I don't even know what's up with that. They have the pro division out here, or at least in Europe, but I don't even know what that's about because I haven't really seen anything mentioned. I think they wanted to do something like that maybe this year or next year, but we'll see how it goes. And the other thing I did want to mention is we had so many teams competing throughout the year. I think about 6 or 7 on a normal event. And I think they were trying to get 6 from the West Coast and 6 teams from the East Coast. But it's so much to compete. I don't know if there were any cash prizes. I know there were medals and a trophy, but I don't think there was any cash prizes given here. So there's really no incentive for a lot of these events for some of these teams to go out, compete, fly out, whatever they got to do. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It seems like it's not going to change anytime soon unless they do, they have a better incentive, other than just bragging rights and trophies and stuff. So that's why we ended up with just 6 teams from both regions of the country. And I don't know if that's going to get any better, honestly. Well, 1, it's the price, and then 2, there's no incentive, and then 3, you need dedicated people. The player base is already low as it is in the country, so hopefully they can try and get around that, try to attract more players and stuff like that. So maybe they can do just other events. There's just so many things they got to try out, and this is where I appreciate what Adam is doing, because he's actually going out of his way to message these teams, message these players, and set up something. There might be something on a random Wednesday. That's crazy. I mean, I honestly could probably do it, have my days off at that time, but either way, that's all I got going on for now. The NSL has been pretty interesting, to say the least, because it's still going on, and I think that's it. They're being a little bit more lenient when it comes to the gear that you use, I've noticed. From what I was told a year ago when the ARC Sports rifle came out, they weren't allowing that because it was outshadowing Monk Customs, which are just insanely expensive builds, when you can just build something for less. But I appreciate everybody for watching. I'm probably going to get off here because I got nothing else going on. I really got to start cleaning again, but I appreciate you guys just watching my bullshit ass stream, and I'm probably just going to head off now. But if you guys need anything, just please message me at any point on Instagram, and I'll get back to you as best I can. Especially you, CQ Speed. Let me know when you want to get down to, or if you want me to kind of make you a series on how to edit specific videos. And if there's anything that you want from me, I can definitely teach you. I'll be more than happy to help you out wherever, bro. Monk is also terrible. What? Monk also has terrible customer service. And I can only attribute that because they don't have a really good customer service base here in the United States. I think it's literally just based with, I don't know, whoever's running it now. It used to be Adam, but now it's nobody. It's just LA Kappa, or was LA Kappa? I don't know. And there was so much drama with that. And then HK Army was actually working with the NSL, but they're no longer working with the NSL. So I don't even know what's going on with that. Bert is burning bridges, bro. For real, I'll hit you up. I appreciate you, bro. I probably won't have any gameplay anytime soon, but just expect more videos to come out. And I appreciate you guys for watching. I love you all. Be safe, and remember, just have fun. We're all grown-ass men playing with toy guns, with the exception of the kids. But please,